So once more, dober dan, buongiorno, and good morning. So hello to everybody. Well, my name is Mitja Rucer. I'm professor of entrepreneurship and chair of entrepreneurship department, the Faculty of Management, University of Primorska, for those who don't know me. So I'm leading this and developing this event for the last 12 consecutive years, and I'm very, very happy to welcome you to this 12th edition of the Festival of Innovation. Well, it's a place where students, entrepreneurs, practitioners, and policymakers tend to meet, innovate, network, exchange their knowledge and ideas. Unfortunately, this year, again, with help of online tools, but hopefully already next year in person. A very specific year is behind us, where not just businesses, but all of us had to adapt to very specific conditions and to new reality. But we have to move on, and this might be also an opportunity for a new start. Actually, words like digital transformation, sustainability, innovation, and learning are the key words that were heard most in this last period affecting our life. So this year's with FestINNO thematic orientation, we decided to collect experiences and suggestions of this ongoing change and offer opportunities for reflection and ideas to accelerate the restart with, say, more than 20 roundtables, presentations, lectures, and so on with guests and practitioners in Slovenian, Italian, and English language. So we are starting the day with a plenary session where Mr. Moreno Faina, our special guest, director at Illy Café Università del Café, will share with us their approach to sustainable quality and their dream and values that protect their heritage, but is strongly projected into the future to build a better world for us and future generations. I wish you many interesting discoveries to all of you and the best possible user experience along this interesting day. So, Mr. Faina, thank you for accepting our invitation. The word is yours.
Thank you. Professor Ruzier, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm honored to have been invited to this prestigious event in front of a large professional and institutional audience. Okay, let me share my document in order to have just information related to the topics I'm going to share with you. Let me know if you can see the presentation.
Yes, it's perfectly okay.
Good. Thank you, Professor.
We hear and see you, so.
Sure. Well, we have 45 minutes in order to approach those topics. That's roughly what I'm going to share with you, talking about Illy and a sustainable quality, the dream and the values and the brand essence of the company, and a small reference why and how everybody can make the difference, and ending my speech talking about coffee culture mission. Well, thanks for the coffee is a slogan, is a sort of approach to the sustainable quality, because we like to underline that more than 30 years have been dedicated to perfecting coffee bean growing methods in order to have the supply chain under full control. That means talking about socially, economically, and environmental sustainable. But first of all, for us is really crucial thanking the people who work with us every day, helping us to realize the dream, offering the best coffee in the world. And those are the coffee growers, starting from the first line on the field, the coffee growers. What we do for them, why we have this special relationship with the growers, because obviously the coffee starts from the plantation and the quality starts from there. If we will be very skilled, we could maintain the very high quality till the end of the process. And that's the reason why just in 1991 in Illy Cafe, we decided to create a sort of recognition, an award for the best Brazilian coffee producers in order to push them to work on the quality. Because at that time, Brazil, as today, is the most important country producing coffee, but the quality was not at the very high level. And that's the reason why pushing on this strategy, helping and sharing and challenging the growers to increase on quality. And that's the reason why a few years later, the award developed and becoming the so-called Ernesto Illy International Coffee Awards, where we celebrate every year the best 9 coffee growers producing the best beans for Illy blend in the world. And last year, 2020, we recognized Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ethiopia, Guatemala, Honduras, India, Nicaragua, and Rwanda as countries where part of the countries, not all the countries, but the main countries where we buy coffee for our blend. The award is celebrated every year in New York in normal conditions with a special event at the United Nations building. In 2019, the winner was a company and the association, Colombian association, ex-combatants. The name is Spirit of Peace. That's another social approach, even from this point of view. Last year, for the first time, due to the pandemic conditions, we celebrated the world in a digital way, and the winner was a cooperative, Hondureña cooperative called Cocabel. And Cocabel won 2 prizes. The first prize was awarded thanks to the analysis and the judgment of a jury of professionals. And the second, the Coffee Lover's Choice Award, was a sort of public jury, the consumers, so that they gave an evaluation, sensorial evaluation, directly in the place where Illy is served globally in the world, in the coffee shops, a few days before the event. That's another very strong contribution to increase awareness and quality. But it's not enough. It's not enough because we would like to enrich the relationship with the growers, and we created another recognition that's called, again, Thanks for the Coffee. In 2016, we launched another initiative collecting messages of appreciation and gratitude for coffee producers from the places where we serve coffee, in the coffee shops in the world, collecting those messages and delivering the messages directly to the growers, directly in the plantation. In 2016, the same activity, but focus on the children of the coffee growers, delivering messages written by consumers with appreciations. 2018, the gender equity was the focus, and we would like, at that time, the event was called Half a Cup. We served for 1 day in many Illy coffee shops an espresso with a half cup. Why half cup? It was surprising, but we would like to highlight the relevance, presence, and meaning of a contribution of women to the coffee production. The world of coffee without women cannot support more than half of the final result. In 2019, we create the symphony, the Coffee Symphony, Illy Symphony, collecting sounds from Rwanda, and was another contribution, the artistic contribution. Last year, we celebrate a sort of symbolic gesture of drinking coffee without cup. That's another way to highlight, to reinforce the concept of those growers that are so crucial. Anyway, coming back to the dream, to the basis of our activity, our company, and our long journey. The coffee and the Illy was born and was established in 1933 when Francesco Illy decided that Trieste was the right site to create his business. And at that time he had, and roughly the dream is the same, today offering is the best coffee to the world. There is a mission, of course. You are professional and you know exactly that every company has a mission and has a vision. And that's the reason why I would like to share with you. The mission, the light quality of life of lovers all around the world, offering, and that's really meaning the difference and the real meaning of the messages, with the greatest coffee nature can provide. Greatest coffee nature can provide, because coffee was born in the plantation on the plant, and we must collect, grasp the best quality there, enhance the quality with the best technology and the sustainable practices, and the pursuit of beauty in everything we do. The vision is to be the world conference for coffee culture. And that's our meaning. That's the reason why University of Coffee, I'm director of University of Coffee, dedicated the last 21 years sharing and spreading coffee culture everywhere with a network of 26 branches we work with. Well, we would like even in our vision to be an innovative company aiming to create and offer the finest product throughout the world's birth destination. That's the reason why you will see our distribution where we are present. Let me share with you even our values, the two main values we have, ethics and excellence. Ethics, the meaning of creation of long-term value through, again, sustainability, transparency, and the fulfillment of people's potential. And excellence, the never-ending pursuit of perfection. This describes perfectly our activity, offering the best quality in everything we do, reinforcing this with other two values, passion and innovation, that is absolutely present in every activity we perform. Just a single slide talking about the numbers of the company. More than 8 million cups of coffee, not just espresso, coffee in general, are served every day at home, in the offices, on the go, with more than 100,000 customers, clients in bars, hotels, restaurants, shops, and whatever. More than 140 countries. That's the global activity, the global area where we distribute our coffee. Starting from the only factory we have, the only headquarters we have, Trieste. The Illy Cafe is under the umbrella of Gruppo Illy SPA, and more than 1,300 people, employees, are working in our company. And the last, and I will dedicate a few words about this, we are more than happy to share the fact that we have been certified as B Corporation company, B Corp, and you will see what does it mean. Well, for what concern our brand essence, let me share with you a very ancient term in a Greek language, kalogagasia. It means that this word is made combining two other words, and again, ancient Greek, kalos, that means beautiful, and agathos, that means good. Well, in other words, what we would like to share with you that everything is beautiful must be and is good as well, and the opposite. So that's the reason why goodness and beauty become indivisible, and one is dependent on the other. And that's our goal, and that's what we would like to offer to the market, to the worldwide. Three are the pillars on which we base our strategy. The first is good, and good refers to the possibility, to the quality of the product, to the effort we push on the offer to the world the best coffee, and the best coffee nature can provide, can offer. The goodness is strictly referred to the sustainable quality through our social, economic, and environmental commitment. And beauty. Beauty means that the aesthetics and art are surrounding our products and our activity and our choices, and you will see why. Well, the legacy. This picture shows the son of the founder, Mr. Ernesto Illy. And at that time, 1976, take care about the date, 1976. He was president of the European Association of Brand Industry. Well, in a public occasion, Mr. Ernesto Illy declared roughly 45 years ago the follows. The function of the industrial enterprise is fundamental and inalienable, but the economic perspective alone cannot be sufficient to legitimize its work, since it must be integrated with respect for man, the community, and the environment. Guys, students, do you understand how far the thought of this man was ahead? This statement, made 45 years ago, is of a striking actuality on which we base our choices. Well, Illy Cafe is a stakeholder company. What does it mean? It means that a company that works with people and for the people. The primary objective of Illy is creating value for all the individual through sustainability, transparency, and the realization of people potentiality. What are the rank of our stakeholders? Starting from the most important relevance, that are the consumers, followed by customers, colleagues, suppliers, communities, and just in the end, shareholders. That's our choice, and that's our future. That's a picture of Andrea Illy, the son of Ernesto Illy that you have seen before. Toward the great challenge is fighting and is offering to the market carbon neutrality and virtuous agriculture. What does it mean? It means that the first is an objective and challenging objective: become as a company carbon neutral by 2033 in the occasion of the Illy Cafe's centenary, 17 years before the European goal. The second challenge, the virtuous agriculture. You will learn something more now and in the following weeks, months, because that's another project based on delivering a dual benefit for an environment and for the human health. That's another challenge Andrea is pushing on, Andrea and company, of course, because for what concerns environment, the goal and the idea is to obtain the result through carbon sequestration and the reduction of contaminants. For what concerns the planet, the earth, for the human health, following and through a product which are products that are beneficial and protective against the non-communicable and non-diary diseases. Two great challenges, and we need to reinforce and to launch those goals. Sustainable quality. Everybody talks about sustainable quality, and the point is transforming the words in facts. And that's the reason why I would like to underline again that from the economic point of view, what we want is creating value and share it with all the stakeholders that you have seen before. For what concerns the environmental approach, we respect environmental, and we are strongly committed to prevent pollution, to avoid waste, and using renewable resources. Those are facts, and you will see in a short why those facts are real. From the social point of view, of course, we encourage the growth on the individuals and the communities we work with. Well, what we say is what we do. And what we do is what we practically document. That's the commitment. And the commitment is written and published on a specific document called Illy Value Report. Here you find the address, digital address, where you can analyze, download, look at this. I strongly suggest I invite you to do it, because we don't want to remain just with the words. We need to share facts. And that's the reason why those kind of commitment, it has an acronym called SEEDS, Social, Environmental, Economic Development, Sustainable. And the value report has 6 chapters. Those chapters that you will find on the site, and I showed you before, is the financial capital, productive capital, human capital, relational capital, intellectual capital, and natural capital. So perfectly and well described what we do, what we say, not just what we declare, but really what we do. Well, another very strong point. In November 2019, we decided to become benefit company. Benefit company means being committed to have this new, to adopt a new status, legal status, to call it benefit company, a new legal approach, and a long roadmap has started at that time. Those 3 areas were the areas where we worked for a couple of years: responsible value chain and sustainable agriculture, quality of life, and circular economy for the benefit of the planet, involving a sort of choices and decision in order to reduce progressively emissions in the supply chain. Well, in March 2021, that means a few weeks ago, another big jump. Illy Cafe has been declared the first Italian coffee company to obtain the B Corp status. That's an incredible goal. The B Corp circuit counts roughly 3,800 certified companies, just 120 in Italy, distributed in more than 70 countries in more than 150 sectors. This is not a celebration, but this is really a result of a very strong assessment. BIA is the name of B Impact Assessment. It's a sort of protocol for measuring the profile of a company's accountability, responsibility, and transparency. So there are a lot of points must be taken in consideration. The BIA gives a company a score ranging from 0 to 200. And if you don't go over 80, that's the threshold score, you cannot be recognized as a certifiable. That means that this certification is valid for 3 years. This result and what we achieved, the B Corporation certification for Illy, is that now we can declare that I've been recognized as the company with the highest standards of social and environmental performance, transparency, and accountability. That's really, believe me, a great result. That's the picture that can demonstrate our global approach for what concerns the social and the communication. That's a picture that is the symbol of this certification obtained. But it's not enough, because that's another recognition we got from the third entity. That's not what we declare in our company ourselves. It's a self-evaluation. No. That's an official and international recognition. Illy has been recognized for the 9th consecutive time of 9 years that we are recognized as the 130 companies in the world has the most ethical company in the world. In this case, the entity, the third entity is called Ethisphere, recognizing the really most ethical companies. This recognition tells that those companies, very few companies, transform their principle into action, facts, not just words. Again, sustainable procurement process. For many years, we have been following a sort of certification for what concern the green coffee called responsible supply chain process, very strong certification. But now the time has changed. And that's the reason why we have uploaded, we have updated even the certification. And that's the reason why in 2019, Illy Cafe has adopted another certification, the sustainable procurement processes. And the protocol has been certified by another very prestigious third entity called DNVGL. In this case, the protocol attests that the integration of principle of responsibility and sustainable development in the procurement and supply chain management. Can you understand what does it mean that when we are the direct relation with the growers, we buy coffee directly from the growers, not directly from the stock exchange or other traders. No, we have a specific and direct relation with growers. And this certification testify what we do and what are the conditions where we buy coffee, respecting all the principles that are coherent for what we have seen so far. They integrate the supply chain, and for this, we do other activities such as selecting and motivate the growers, because the growers must be supported, must be trained, must be updated. University of Coffee has a section for growers. Must be not so strange, starting from Trieste and offering didactic approach for growers in Rwanda or Guatemala or Brazil or whatever, because we try to share the best agroeconomic practices for those growers. Knowledge transfer. That's the reason why we go there, we visit regularly the plantation and the growers. We offer and we direct purchase coffee, paying a little bit higher tip for the coffee we buy, considering the forces made by the growers toward the goal of final quality. And we build a daily community of growers. That's another concrete signal what we do for growers and from the start of supply chain. Certification. I don't want to show all the certification we have. I'm just highlighting the most relevant, but there are many other certifications because we deliver coffee in 140 countries, and any single country has different competences and limits. And that's the reason why we try to obtain the best certification for all the countries. Considering that we have in Trieste 5 dedicated labs where we analyze when we control the production, industrial production, but we have from 125 up to 320 quality checks control for the quality, double certification on the product, environmental certification, supply chain processes. And that's a sort of picture for what concern their production chain. Guys, students, that's the very complex production chain for what concern coffee. And every single link of the chain must be perfectly controlled, because just one link fails, the whole supply chain fails. Starting from harvesting, the selection of the beans, delivering, warehousing, blending, roasting, packaging, transformation, service, and testing. We have no time today to approach all the single steps, but that's our job. That's the reason why in the University of Coffee, many courses are devoted to enter in detail, deep dive of the single point of the very complex supply chain. Because when you drink a cup of espresso or filter coffee or whatever, you must have in mind what is behind. The question is not just taking consideration that you are drinking 25 milliliters of coffee. That to obtain this result, you need 50 beans. And to obtain 50 beans, you need a lot of things, going back to the shrub of coffee in the plantation, where to ripe the cherries that gives the beans, you have to wait 9 months. That's the, in a short way, we have just 5 steps. I would like to share with you the strategy from quality from the bean to the cup. And really just a sum of a lot of activity we have to perform. And for a company as Illy that has the whole supply chain under control, we have to control all the single steps. The selection must be not strange to take consideration that we have 6 different stages, 6 different levels of checks. When I say that we check bean by bean, 50 beans, 1,000 tons of coffee roasted, you must believe me that we check bean by bean, and all the perfect beans could be utilized to obtain the blend, and the other beans will be rejected and will fall over a different path. Selection is crucial because one of the points that is so critical that not all the cherries will reach the ripeness level at the right time. And that's the reason why that if you use in our blend or roasting blend with the bean that have been underripe or overripe, an incredible damage for what concerns the sensorial approach takes place. And that's the reason why we are obliged. We want to use just the perfectly ripe beans. The perfectly ripe beans will be then blended. Illy blend, Illy offer, and that's so another really differentiating point respecting the majority of other roasters. We have just one blend. One blend. We mix 9 different ingredients. We mix 9 of the best Arabicas, and the formula and the recipe is not fixed, it's dynamic. We change the contribution of the single ingredients in order to obtain every time the same result, the same qualitative result, changing dynamically the formula, but we offer the same blend. You will see later that we will roast the blend a different way, but that's really the key of the success of having the same qualitative approach to obtain consistency in the final quality. Roasting, and we roast and we taste in different shades. That means that we change the curve of roasting in different way to obtain 3 different results in terms of taste, in terms of aromatic compounds, starting from the same blend. In a few minutes, I will tell you something more about this. And then aging. Aging sometimes is a definition associated with wine. Quite rare to associate aging with coffee, because coffee must be consumed just after roasting or a few days after roasting. In Illy Cafe, no. Because we have a specific system to preserve and increase the aromatic compounds that is called pressurization. That means fixing the beans just roasted in a neutral environment, a metallic, in most cases, environment where we remove air and we add nitrogen under pressure. It means that we can guarantee for 36 months the quality of the beans in the metal packages, or 24 in the smaller packages. And that's the reason why, and thanks to this solution, we can distribute coffee in 144 countries without being affected by complaints about the quality after the long trip of coffee. And then the preparation. The preparation, we have artists, we have teachers in the University of Coffee that are devoting to transform, to set up the best equipment, not just espresso machine, but all the potential systems to transform coffee, of obtaining and finding the setup, the fine-tuning of any single tool, any single solution to give coherency to the quality along the supply chain till the last moment. The last moment means 30 seconds if we talk about espresso. 30 seconds. To take consideration the long supply chain, we have roughly 15 months from the flowering the plantation till all the steps that we are seeing, till the final preparation, we talk about 15, 16 months. And the barista, in a professional way, or you at home, when you prepare your cup of coffee, you have 30 seconds in the case of espresso, or 2 minutes in the case of mocha or filter, to exalt or to ruin what have been done or have been done before. Take care next time you are going to prepare your coffee. Illy blend means 3 roasting degrees, and the roasting degrees means that we change even the balance. For what concern, and there are 3 colors describing the 3 roasting degree. If you note on the packages, you find the colors. The red colors means classical, mild and balanced result, or the purpose means purple color means intense or rich and full-bodied, and the black means forte, rich and strong. The same blend, roasted in different ways. I'm running a little bit because we have just 8 minutes, and I would like to underline that from the beans and the powder, we have different option and solution to obtain the same quality through pods or capsules or compatible capsules, till the potential solution to have Illy crema and cold brew, the trendy solution, and many other options. But again, if you would like to go deeper, enter in the site of University of Coffee and try to find the right condition to follow one of our courses. Roughly, and just to give you this another perspective, there are a few pictures showing you another way, in a concrete way, what we do. There are 3 different examples of plantation, just to give you the idea of the complexity. Here we have in Brazil, look at this, a giant plantation. Those are plants of coffee, and that's a reality. Another reality is a medium plantation we have in high mountain. And you see that there are connection of other agricultural practices, not just coffee. And we have in the Central America. Here we have a very small plantation. Here we have in Africa, and you have a sort of garden, many other things, and few shrubs of coffee. 3 different solutions, 3 different approaches, and we have to face with different growers at different level. Again, other example, when you are going to visit Trieste, you will see on the roof of our factory this tool, and this tool are the system to recover it from the roaster fumes, just to reduce the impact from the environmental point of view. Again, facts, not just words. And in this way, we can lower the temperature from 400, 500 Celsius to 160. Another great contribution to the environmental conditions. But not only, thanks to this approach, that's the recovery of the heat from the roaster fumes, we can obtain hot water in the winter and cold water in the summer, reducing methane consumption in winter. reducing energy consumption in summer. Recyclable packs, that means that our packaging, as I said before, are designed to preserve quality over time, and we use mainly recyclable materials, such as metal cans. End of life is perfectly described on all the packages. What you have to do with those packages at the end, when it's finished, when you have completely consumed the coffee. We are in this new generation, production of home machine, very low consumption. And thanks to the labs that are working in Illy Cafe, we found the solution, technological solution, to reduce by 84% the emissions generated by those machines. Exactly, is a real new generation of machine with a very low consumption, very low impact. Paper pods. Paper pods means that now the paper we use for the pods is certified as compostable. Again, this product is a product that we launched in Illy Cafe in 1974. You understood well, 1974. That means the pods are part of our DNA, of our activity. Now they are got a new level, and the level is certified compostable paper. That's, you can use this with less impact on the environment. Even the accessories of recycled paper, thanks to the choice to use these recycled papers, we have reduced the production of plastic in our products by 175 tons per year worldwide. Again, facts, not words. Spent capsule collection, even the plastic, we know that is a truly and a real problem, but we are approaching, we are fully involved in reducing even this part. And that's the reason why in some European markets, UK, France, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Austria, unfortunately, not just in Slovenia and in Italy so far, but we are working, because we know, we are absolutely aware that it's a problem that we have to fight and we have to solve. Again, another contribution, Green Star Michelin. Have you ever heard something about that? Well, we created a sort of partnership with Michelin in order to highlight the commitments of restaurants and chefs, taking the responsibility for preserving resources, embracing biodiversity, reducing food waste, and supporting increasingly green cuisine. That's another way to support the big change. All together, we have to approach. One day at a time, one gesture at a time means that we are not to wait just the industry or the public institution doing something for this. Everybody has the responsibility and the right to do something, a simple gesture, a daily gesture, to move in this direction. And that's another campaign we launched in order to highlight this. We need the contribution of everybody to obtain this result. And the last part, just a couple of minutes, coffee culture mission means that all the things that I told you right now must be shared with the market, with the potential consumers, maintaining the very high position, the Illy's thought leadership. And University of Coffee is the way, is the key to share this. And that's the reason why we launched more than 20 years ago this Center of Excellence, promoting the quality of the culture of quality all over the world, talking about training and didactical activities, research activities, and editorial activities, supporting a network of 26 branches. In 20 years, roughly 300,000 students have been trained in those countries. And this is the goal, the final a meeting of UDC network and teachers in Honduras a few years ago. last picture talking about the master class, Ernesto Illy and master class Coffee Economics and Science. That's an official master that have been launched for roughly 10 years. And these are the countries from which we got the students. And next year, 2022, we will be launched the 11th edition. And that's the last slide. Back to the Ernesto Illy. And this is a declaration I would like to share with you, students, but you have to put this in your mind. Innovation is a successful disobedience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So thank you very much, Mr. Faina. So maybe some questions? Some questions from the public? Any special thoughts about this lecture today? The presentation?
Profesor, jaz imam eno vprašanje za vas, če lahko, če je primerno.
Ne. With Professor.
If you receive a specific question, we can interact even after the speech, because I know that the time is short. But if you receive a specific question, we can interact by email or by WhatsApp in order to the right solution.
So thank you very much.
I'm fully available for this.
Yeah. So if there are some specific question, I can also forward it to you, maybe later on by email, because it was really nice and a nice lecture and inspirative, I would say, because this is important, inspiration, and this is an important part of leadership, and you are leaders, I would say, in the segment, in the coffee sector. And this speech was really a good example of it, of the culture and values behind. So if there are really some specific questions, they can be also sent later on to myself or to Mr. Faina, or maybe we can circulate to them. Otherwise, I would thank you once more in the name of the organizers, Faculty of Management, University Primorska, and also accepting this invitation, for these nice words from my side. And I hope really to be in touch in the future with, let's say, potential collaborations. You see, you're expanding your network, so maybe we can merge in these opportunities to share your values also further from our side. Okay, thank you. Absolutely. We will be in touch. Okay. Bye then. Thank you to everybody, and then we continue the event to other lectures, to other presentations and roundtables. So you are all welcome to join also the other events, and of course also you and your team. Thank you very much to everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.